The distress beacon pierced through the void like a needle through fabric. Adam checked the coordinates twice before believing them. The signal originated from Karvoth Prime, a world the Galactic Council had marked as strictly off-limits to all sapient species. "We shouldn't be here," Elif said from the co-pilot's seat, her fingers dancing across the navigation console. "The Karvoth are Class 7 predators. They don't ask questions before they attack." Adam guided their small medical frigate through the planet's amber atmosphere. "Someone's hurt down there. That's all I need to know." They found the source near a crystalline forest, a Karvoth settlement, its structures carved from living stone. But something was wrong. The proud warrior race that had terrorized 3 sectors now huddled in their dwellings, fearful and watchful. A small figure limped toward their ship. A Karvoth cub no more than 5 cycles old by Adam's estimate. Its silver fur was matted with blue blood, and it dragged one of its 4 legs behind it. Elif grabbed Adam's arm. "Don't, it's a trap. The adults use their young to lure prey." But Adam was already opening the airlock, his medical kit in hand. He'd seen that look before, pain transcending species, language, or intent. He knelt before the cub, keeping his movements slow and deliberate. The cub snarled, baring rows of crystalline teeth designed to tear through starship hulls. Adam didn't flinch. Instead, he opened his kit and held up a bandage, then pointed to the cub's injured paw. The young Karvoth tilted its massive head, confusion replacing aggression. It extended the wounded limb. Adam worked quickly. The injury was severe, a deep laceration that had become infected. He cleaned it with antiseptic, applied regenerative gel, and wrapped it carefully in a compression bandage. The cub watched every movement with eyes that reflected starlight. "There," Adam said softly, tying off the bandage. "Better?" The cub tested its weight on the paw, then released a sound. Not quite a purr, not quite a growl, but something that felt like gratitude. It bounded away toward the settlement. "We should leave," Elif urged. "Now, while we still can." But Adam stood frozen, staring at the settlement. The cub had disappeared into the largest structure, and now something else was emerging. Several something elses, adult Karvoth, 3 meters tall, packed with muscle and claw and fang. Behind them came more cubs, and behind them more adults. Dozens of them, moving toward the ship in a coordinated mass. Elif's hand hovered over the emergency launch sequence. The first adult approached Adam, towering over him like a living monument to violence. It extended one massive paw, scratched, bleeding. The creature made a sound that might have been a whimper. Adam understood. He pulled out fresh supplies and began to work. The next hour became a blur. One by one, the Karvoth came forward. Cubs with scraped knees, warriors with battle wounds they'd ignored for weeks, elders with chronic joint pain. Each approached with the same hesitant trust the first cub had shown, and each left with bandages, stitches, or medication. Elif joined him after the 5th patient, her initial fear replaced by focused professionalism. "We're going to run out of supplies," she muttered while wrapping a warrior's fractured rib. "Then we'll call for more," Adam replied, carefully extracting a thorn from an elder's paw that had been embedded for cycles. As the last patient received treatment, the Karvoth formed a circle around the 2 humans. For a moment, Adam's heart raced. This was it. They'd served their purpose. But the largest Karvoth, the one with silver running through its fur like rivers, stepped forward. It placed one massive paw over its chest, then extended it toward Adam and Elif. Every other Karvoth mimicked the gesture. "It's a pledge," Elif whispered, her voice thick with emotion. "They're swearing protection. We're packed now." Over the following weeks, word spread through the sector. The humans who healed a cub, the humans who showed no fear, the humans who saw wounds instead of weapons. Other species began to arrive on Karvoth Prime, cautiously at first. The Karvoth, once the sector's most feared predators, became its guardians, protecting the small medical station Adam and Elif established in the crystalline forest. The Galactic Council demanded explanations. How had 2 humans accomplished what diplomacy, threats, and military force could not? Adam's response was simple. "We saw someone hurt, so we helped." Years later, the medical station had grown into a hospital, then a city. Karvoth warriors served as its protectors while their cubs played in gardens alongside. Dozens of species who had once fled from them in terror. And in the center of it all stood a monument, a statue of a human kneeling before a Karvoth cub, wrapping a bandage around its paw. The inscription beneath it read simply, "Kindness speaks every language." Elif stood beside Adam, watching a young Karvoth carefully bandage a scratch on a human child's knee, mimicking the movements it had learned by watching them work. "You know what the strangest part is?" Elif said. "What's that?" "The Galactic Council still can't figure out why it worked. They've written 3,000 pages of analysis trying to explain it." Adam smiled, watching the cub's gentle care with the human child. "They're thinking too hard. Sometimes the answer isn't complicated. Sometimes someone just needs to be the first one to care." The cub finished its work and made that sound. Not quite a purr, not quite a growl. That they'd learned meant happiness. The human child laughed and wrapped small arms around the cub's massive neck. Humanity had done many things among the stars. Built cities, waged wars, discovered wonders. But perhaps their greatest achievement was this: showing the galaxy that the strongest response to fear wasn't violence. It was a bandage wrapped around a wounded paw.